And welcome back inside the Backstage Pass, KKTC True Country 99.9 out there in Taos, New Mexico, and up into Colorado. Our friends at HighTideCountry.net. And of course, out there, always powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com, which baseball season underway, March Madness, the Final Four, all kind of good things with sports and music come together out there too as well. And our thanks to Sycamore for leading us off to day two, batting lead off there. And sometimes I told you we got a special treat for you, and sometimes I'll do 2-3 shows in a day. Pleased to be joined. Her new single out there too. Let's find out across all those digital platforms. But another one's coming out April 12th called Devil's Advocate. Lexi Sidders joins us here on the show. How's it going?
It's good. How are you, Brandon?
It's good. Easter was not long enough, but it was here.
Yes.
We got to spend some time with family. How was your Easter?
My Easter was great. My grandparents just moved into town, so we did a little brunch at the Harpeth Hotel in Nashville, and it was great, but short. Good and short.
My 4-day weekend was just like scratched, and we still came back yesterday with a show and had I don't know, another 6 or 7 shows coming up this week too, which is always staying busy. Well, let's talk about that one too, because I know you're excited to promote this one and talk about it. Devil's Advocate, April 12th, and that's a great day you picked. My sister's actually probably getting married that day too. It's at some undisclosed location, which is great out there.
I picked the best date, and it was just for your sister.
There you go. See, it's just April 12th, always a low Friday when it's new music release day. Talk about this one, and I know you're excited to get this one into the fans' hands again.
Absolutely. So Devil's Advocate, it's like my little baby. I love it so much, and I can't wait for April 12th. It is the classic breakup song. If you've ever dated a narcissist, you will completely understand. And yeah, so basically I decided to mix business with pleasure back in the day, and it didn't turn out too good. And I should have listened to everyone who told me not to get involved with this person. And one day I came over to my friend Luke Azell's house, and we had our friend Caroline Darling over as well. And I came with a bottle of wine and tears rolling down my eyes, and I was a mess. And they looked at me and they probably thought I needed therapy, and we were going to write a really good song. So we wrote Devil's Advocate, and it talks about going through a relationship where someone is controlling not only your personal life, but your career too. And so this song is kind of like me getting my name back. And so it's very empowering for me.
No doubt too. Talk about that. I love songs that are empowering, songs that tell a story, because that's what music is all about. It is therapy. No doubt when you're having the worst day of all, you can turn on your favorite song written by your favorite artist or by someone else or a co-writer, something like that, and just enjoy music too, because that's the process. And I love when people tell me the stories here on the show about songwriting and just what it means to them in general.
Yes, absolutely. No, songwriting is everything. I got into songwriting when I was 14. I started going to this festival, Durango Expo, and it was in California. And I had a really good family friend take me there, and he taught me how to songwrite. And so ever since then, I've been writing music, and I went to Belmont for songwriting as well. And so that was 3 years ago that I came here for that. And it was probably the best decision of my life. But every time it's different with the process of writing and different writers. But I think of the lyrics first, and then I get my guitar and strum a little bit.
Which is right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's different for everybody, but usually I'll be awake in bed at 3 a.m. because I can't fall asleep. And that's a good line. That's a good one.
It's a good one right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
So tell us about that poster behind you too as well. Love that. 50 years of making music with Belmont, because a lot of great roots that go out there too, because it is an institution that really promotes a lot of great choices for different majors out there, but especially music.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm from California, and I never thought that I would move to Tennessee in my life. A friend that is amazing, she's also a singer-songwriter. She told me about their program. She's like, hey, you need to be a part of this. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure like if I'm going to pass the audition round. I don't know, but I'm going to try. And so I auditioned and I got in, and Belmont is unbelievable because the professors that you have there, they're like Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's like low key flex. Like that's really cool. And so you're learning from these not only professors, they're super educated and amazing, but they're also music business professionals. And so it was the coolest experience. And I'm so thankful to Belmont.
That's good stuff, no doubt. And that's a long time when you're talking about 1973 to 2023 for 50 years of making music out there. Let's talk about making music for one called Let's Find Out, which I thought was a smash of a tune out there when I got to hear it. And I first learned about you there a couple of months ago when I was kind of searching around, scouting for new talent, all that good stuff too. How did this one originate too? And excellent writing, and you really brought it to life.
Thank you so much. So this one was interesting. So Michael Woodrum, he is out of California, and I went down to LA one day. He has a beautiful studio in Burbank, and we spent probably 5 hours just going back and forth, like through these ideas that just weren't clicking. And we're like, like maybe we should just call it a day. And then I start singing the words, let's find out, let's find out. And I was dating a guy at this time. I was in high school. It was my first love. And I was like, he's like, how's that relationship going? And I'm like, it's good, but we'll find out. Like, let's find out. And so that's kind of how that started. And he put a track to it, and it just has a really cool haunting element to it. And it's one of my favorites. And, you know, I sing a lot about breakups and like how crappy ex-boyfriends can be and stuff. But this is my only love song that I have out there right now. So it is special. And I think a lot of people love it and can relate to it. So I love that song.
Well, I know one thing, you can play a song acoustic, no doubt. And there was one that struck me too. It's just striking chords out there, 3 chords in the truth. One called Lonely Chords. It was really cool to listen to out there from your perspective, and really putting your own spin on this one too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a show in Mexico about a year ago, and I played 2 shows there. And so we did that one for that event, and that was very cool to be able to gain a fan base in Cabo. Like, I'm in Nashville, like that's like kind of unheard of. And so for people to be there and support me and show up at these events, that was amazing, and they really loved that. So
I want to ask you about this female movement. You're kind of right there with it too, because right now, I mean, I do a lot of interviews. I'm not afraid to admit it too, when it comes to interviewing a lot of just great female artists out there, more than I do male artists. That's just kind of the way it is. There's no like formula, rhyme, or reason for what I do. It's just there's so much great talent out there too. And I think it's kind of, they say every dog has its day, that old saying. But for me, it's like, now I think ladies are, at least my opinion, finally getting, Lexi, the moment, I guess, that girl power movement, or this women empowerment. They deserve this. Talk about, Lainey and just Lindsay L., yourself, and Ashley McBride, Carly Pierce, Megan Maroney. This is so cool to see so many ladies like putting on boxing gloves and like just getting after it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that this time is so special because we have not seen anything like this. And Carly Pierce was such an inspiration to me moving into country music, because I haven't always been in country. I started in pop. And so when I moved into country and I kind of saw how things were at the time, I'm like, this is kind of really hard. We have all of the male artists out there and they're doing their thing, but like, we need that female empowerment. And so when Carly came out with her music, I really looked up to her. And I put out a song called Better Off a Loser. And that was last year. And she actually reached out to me personally, and she told me that she loved the song and that she was so excited to see me continue the trend of this women empowerment. And so that was the most inspiring message I've ever gotten from an artist. And
pretty cool, no doubt.
Wilson, Lainey is absolutely killing it right now. I saw her play with Hardy not too long ago in Nashville, and she's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No doubt. Love that too, which is great. We're going to come back, and speaking of pop, we're going to talk about that first EP, Lexi, which is out there across all those streaming platforms too out there. Again, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and our friends at HighTideCountry.net, and powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. But I always say this: if you're looking to buy jewelry for Lexi, myself, anybody out there too as well, do it with one place out there at our friends at Jewelry by Tommy. She's got a beautiful necklace there too as well, and I'm sure he does this because it's all handcrafted, handmade there. Your spouse, friend, family member, significant other, Jewelry by Tommy. Email our friend Tom Burley out there at burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order, and he'll take good care of you too. I've seen the selection too as well. You guys know I only work with the best of the best when it comes to companies here on the Backstage Pass. More with Lexi Sidders here on the Sidders. Yeah, I did it again there. Lexi Sidders here on the Backstage Pass. It's hard not to say that. It is.
It's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it.
We're going to get it. Lexi Sidders here. We'll talk about the Lexi EP coming up here in a little bit. Try saying that about 5 times fast. Quick time out here from our friends at Lady TLC's Travel and the Caden Gordon Show. More to come. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, if you're looking for that best in country Christian music, check out my good buddy. We just had dinner the other day. Had a good time out there, too. You'll be seeing him in Nashville at CMA Fest. Jonathan Bond out there, Grammy singer, songwriter. He's been nominated for several things. He wrote Hero for Mariah Carey out there, too. He'll be performing at the Opry coming up there in June. The best in Christian country, JonathanBond.com. And click the link below right there. Check out his latest music video. Love Jonathan. Always good to catch up with him. Back here with Lexi Sidders here on the Backstage Pass. KKTC. I got it right there. True Country 99.9 and our friends at HighTideCountry.net. So let's go back to the first one. I'm going to go back to 2017. The reason I know that year very well is because my hometown Houston Astros won the World Series in baseball. And, of course, there's never look back for the first championship. And that's when I first learned about this beautiful, talented lady here on the screen with the EP. And I loved Better Alone. This really, you mentioned crossing over and how Carly was such an inspiration to move into country, but you had your flavor, like your sound, your niche of pop was there. I guess two-part question. One, was it tough to make the move? And then second of all, give me kind of what you remember best about that particular EP.
Yeah. So it was hard to make that move. So I grew up in a family that listened to like Cher, ABBA, like all of the pop stuff. And so when I was younger, pop was my inspiration. And so living in California and recording in LA, you have all of those influences. And it's like, okay, pop is what I'm supposed to do. But then I met someone who introduced me to country music, and Just to See You Smile was the first country song I've ever heard. And that one will get you crying.
It does.
And I was like, you know what? You can actually make a difference in people's life by saying certain words and singing them to them too. And country really knows how to do it. And so I kind of started writing literally just what I was feeling and things that I have gone through. And I became more vulnerable in my writing when transitioning into country. For the pop album, I just remember having fun with it. And I was so young when I did that. It was great. I loved it, but I knew that pop, I could only go so far in telling my story. And so I really wanted to expand my horizon and move into country. And so I'd say when I moved to Nashville, that definitely was a big influence as well when I started doing country. But to have those influences, like to have Adele as one of my influences, also Amy Winehouse, and kind of bring that into a more country sound. It's a unique sound, and it's a niche. So it's my own thing. It's Lexi Sidders.
That's it. And you got to be authentic. And that's so important in the industry today, too, because so many great artists are doing their thing now, too. And I love these other platforms that are out there, too. And I'm hooked on these shows. I don't care what people say. They can say whatever. But it's just so cool to see an American Idol or The Voice and see all the great coaching.
Right.
And these judges, sticking their necks out for and choosing the next wave of talent, because otherwise these artists may not have a chance to get stuff out there, too, at the same time. They know they're kind of signing their life away when they get into a show like this, releasing a lot of personal videos and childhood things and backstories and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on these particular shows? I mean, America's Got Talent's in there too as well, because just so much. I've never seen it so saturated with so much great talent right now.
Absolutely. That's a great question. From personal experience, and when I was 16, 17, actually before that, when I was 14, it was my first time auditioning for Idol. And it was at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. And I was scared shitless. Like, I thank God for my mom, because she was there with me the whole time. But I sang Amy Winehouse, Valerie, and they put me through to the round before you get on TV. Okay. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to try it again. So I tried The Voice, tried America's Got Talent, literally got to all the rounds before you make it on TV. And so, they're looking to cast a character. And that's something that I had to learn. And so I do love the shows. I still watch them, and they have amazing talent on them. But for me personally, it wasn't the right thing. Yeah. But it gave me a lot of confidence, and it helped me kind of guide myself. Like, okay, this is right. Like, people see this talent, they're connecting with me, and I can do it, even if it is not on live television.
No, some people have the niche on those shows, and for some, the real work begins when they get off a show like that too. And honestly, it's you got to find out what type of artist you want to be, and of course, just pick. What the cool thing is the coaching side of it. I had Bree Fletcher on just Monday of this week, and Bree was talking about her unfortunate loss there in that particular knockout round that they had, advancing on. I'm sure you know Karen Waldrop very well, or have talked to her in the past. Karen's also an aspiring musician there too. She's coming on this week on Thursday too. She's in the battle round, whatever it is right now, almost a playoff. So it's a cool thing. For some people, that show is for them, and then some people kind of get on there and get to a certain point, get the exit ticket, and go, hey, you know what? I've learned enough to go do what I need to do, because it's the music business, and so many people that even they're not even the judges, but the people behind the scenes that are vocal coaches, licensing, all these different things that just amass the music business. I love learning from it, because I just love hearing people talk about it.
Yes. Yeah. And I will say that Belmont, so when I got into Belmont, you had to pick a minor as well when you're a songwriting major. And I did music business. And to learn all of the crazy stories, like how people have gotten screwed over in the past, like, it is so helpful to know just a little bit more about like behind the scenes. And so it is a business. Every industry is. As much as we just want to create, we have to remember that it's not personal.
No,
a lot of things.
I do another side of it too as well out there from a different standpoint to it, music business, and you learn so much from the people that you work with too. But you also know you got to ask the questions. You can't sit back and expect it just to come to you, because you got to ask those questions to make sure you're getting all the necessary information out there too as well. I'm going to crawl across the pond in England over there. Got a great audience over there. Listen, England, Australia, Europe, all that great stuff over there. Yeah, David, thanks for tuning in, watching from Cumbria. I'm sure she plays a lot of instruments. Lexi, what songs do you enjoy singing the most? Good question.
That's a really good question. I would say I love Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton is my guy. I mean, the rasp in his voice. I have a little bit of a raspy voice myself, and so it fits it pretty well. And just his storytelling. I love Chris Stapleton, but I also love Amy Winehouse. Like I said, I'm a big fan of singing Valerie anytime. Like that's my go-to song. It's like my karaoke song when people are like, what do you want to sing? I'm like, okay, I'll sing Valerie.
It's a great tune, no doubt too. Actually, I saw someone on Idol looking at the top 24 last night or whatever it was. They took that song, one of the female singers, can't remember who it was, but she put her own spin on it too. And it's just one of those classic songs that just hits you out of nowhere. And that's when music was music back in the day too. And it's still where it is now, but those were just great tunes and great artists back in the day with Hart, Amy Winehouse, and so many other people doing their thing back in the rock genre or crossing over rock pop, whatever it is now too as well. We got to take a quick timeout because you guys know if I don't take a timeout, I won't shut up. That's just the way it goes here on the Backstage Pass. I can continue with questions all day long. I've been doing this for 26 years, no doubt about it too. But if you're looking for that perfect gift for Alexi, myself, your spouse, friend, family member too, jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. Email our friend Tom Burley at burleysystem@yahoo.com today. Put in the order, tell him you heard about it here on the Backstage Pass. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's jewelry by Tommy. More with Lexi Sidders here. Quick timeout, coming back, rapid fire. And I'm going to actually tell you guys again, April 12th, Devil's Advocate comes out, the new single across all the streaming platforms. We're going to build on that and talk about what's coming up next for 2024 from Lexi too, with the single, what's added on to it, what she's most excited about here. Quick timeout. It is the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Kate and Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at theKateandGordonShow.com. Again, that is theKateandGordonShow.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. Yeah, it's a Grand Slam music and sports out there too. The sportsguyspodcast.com. Of course, weeknights out there, 10 Mountain Time, KKTC, True Country 99.9. And of course, our other friends out there, hightidecountry.net, Oklahoma City, 250,000 listeners last year just on hightidecountry.net alone. Thanks for listening worldwide out there too. The beauty of doing a radio show, no doubt. And of course, you want to catch somebody out there spreading a great message. To talk to Jonathan yesterday, the best in Christian country music out there too. Jonathan Bond at jonathanbond.com. Click the link below for his latest music video out there. We'll be talking to him coming up there at CMA Fest coming up this year, June 7 to the 9th. We'll be in town there, all of us at the Backstage Pass. Lexi Sidders back here, new single Devil's Advocate, April the 12th next week, and special day as my sister ties the knot out there too. So congratulations to her, and we'll be spending the weekend down at the beach. Nothing wrong with that. So that's going to be if you were in town, I'd say come on out, come on down. The more the merrier too out there at the same time. It'll be good to see you, no doubt, at the CMA Fest coming up here. We'll be in town June 6th to the 11th for this year's big worldwide event too. Well, tell us about that. You know, mention the single April 12th for Devil's Advocate, and now some other exciting things coming up for 2024, music and performances. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So yeah, April 12th, of course, we have Devil's Advocate coming out, and right now working with some management and getting some new things out there. And I do have a song that I am currently working on called Halfway House. And it is not about a real halfway house. So I'm just going to get that out there. It basically talks about living with a partner and you guys breaking up. It's from personal experience, if you are wondering. And how the house can feel half as full, but you actually end up doing so much better and gaining yourself back. And so that one is upbeat, it's fun, it's country, and I wrote that with a good friend, Luke Azell. And so I'm very excited for that. And performances, catch me at Bridgestone Arena playing for the Preds. I'm going to do a few performances for them. So I'm very excited about that. And I am every writer's round, I'm there. Just trying to get as many performances as I can with this new single coming out. So,
and if we're in town there, we're going to find you somewhere. If you're, you may not know it now, but if there's something comes up, I'm going to try to find you out there. We'll come to a performance or a round, or if they say the Reds are, I guess, assuming going to the playoffs, I had to check the standings as of late, but that usually is the time. The Stanley Cup finals are there too. And if they're in town, of course, I know a ticket will be pretty much out of pocket through the roof and can't afford it, but I'd love to come see you sing out there too. And then have the hockey game on TV when you know you can't watch it, but watch Lexi Sidders sing out there where she's going to be at CMA Fest 2024. All right, let's have a little fun with this. I love doing it. Rapid fire. You never know what's going to come out of it here. Latest shows to get into to binge watch. What's on your screen?
Ooh, latest shows. Oh, what is that one called? Apples don't fall too far from the tree. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. I love that one. And then there's one with James Franco right now. He goes back in time. It is a date. I forget what the date is though, but it's where he goes and tries to save JFK back in the day.
I've got to watch that one. I've heard some good things about that too at the same time, so I need to go back and look that one up too. Think of the title of that. If somebody knows, leave it in the comment box so we know what we're going to tune.
I know. I'm like, yeah, love all these shows. I just wish I knew the name of them, you know?
No doubt too. Hey, I finally got my Hattie B's on when I was there. I thought it was like, it was awesome. I went to get the medium is what I did when it came down to it. As far as starting there is a good starting point because I really wanted the flavor of that hot chicken, which was there too, because I didn't want to go past into hot. And then what do they say? What's it called? Clucks enough or something, or whatever the one after hot is. I can't remember the name of that either, but I saw it on the board when I was there too. Is that your favorite place when you're ready for hot chicken?
When I'm ready for hot chicken, I mean, Hattie B's is a classic. I do love Hattie B's. I do.
I like that. I got to try the Prince's when I come back for CMA Fest.
I've tried Prince's before. I have.
And then there's some people like, we like Party Foul. I'm like, man, there's just so many restaurants there.
So many options.
There's too many good ones there too. All right, when you're having a pizza night or something, you're ordering a pizza, what toppings go on the Lexi pizza?
Oh, I'm like a big sausage and pepperoni and cheese.
I like that. So you're right there with me. We're
Carnivore. Anything with the side of ranch. Like I'm a ranchaholic.
Dessert, what do you get into when you get a sweet tooth?
Oh, anything chocolate. I love Heath Bar and peanut butter M&Ms.
I like that. All right. If you were not a musician, what other career path would you have taken?
Ooh, probably still in the music industry. I would say helping artists in any way, either booking or A&R. I love the music industry. I'm intrigued by it. So
that's another side of it too. I'm learning a lot. The A&R side is really just cool to dive into and get all the information from it and ask those questions, because I love, that's a tough job to do, is A&R. No
Absolutely.
doubt. If people don't know what that is, it's artist and repertoire. It's when you're trying to go out and submit your information to go get or hope to get a meeting with A&R with a particular and specific record label that you'd like to sign a deal with too. Artist and repertoire out there too. So sometimes I abbreviate that. And they're like, what are you talking about, Brandon? There it is in full explanation too right there. Let's do this one. Dream stage to step on. I'm assuming the Opry, would it be others included?
You already know it. I mean, the Opry and MSG, that's a big one. Love that, but Opry would be life-changing.
I like that too. And I got to go there the first time last year during CRS and catch, just amazing acts, which is cool. We actually might be going behind the scenes coming up this year too, to do some interviews while we're there backstage, which would be kind of cool to do some stuff there. And of course, our good friend Jonathan Bond will be performing live there too. Let's have a little fun here. Favorite cartoon growing up?
Ooh, favorite cartoon? Probably, when I was young, I loved the Rugrats. I loved the Rugrats. The Jetsons. The Jetsons. Yep. Loved the Jetsons. Yep.
For me, it was the Transformers. And then my all-time two other favorites right there neck and neck. Thundercats, because it was big growing up. And then He-Man was just one of those. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was just the big thing in the household too. In fact, I was actually at a vacation a few weeks ago, and they had a sports memorabilia collectors type store that I went into in San Antonio, Texas. Huge store, everything, collectibles and all this. And they wanted, I think it was He-Man action figures or something like that too. But it had like the old Skeletor, and it had like the He-Man stuff, and pretty pricey. So I almost bought me one of those He-Man action figures. But I tell you what I ended up getting was like a old school. I loved wrestling growing up, like WWF, WWE now.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Warrior was my guy. He beat his chest, come to running down the aisle. It was just, I loved old school wrestling, the Attitude Era, 90s type stuff was just one of those big things. Because that fit well with country music back in the day, at least for me, it did.
Yep.
And you remember the old event, WrestleMania? They've been going forever, those things, just nationwide too. So, in fact, that's coming up this weekend too as well. Forgot about that in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So much happening out there. Again, you guys check out Devil's Advocate coming out next Friday, April 12th. Make sure you guys go get it across all those digital streaming platforms out there too, and check her out across all the social media out there. Give her a like, and definitely looking forward to seeing you in Nashville at CMA Fest. Lexi Sidders out there. Appreciate the time and looking forward to doing this again.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me, Brandon.
You got it. And the one, the only Lexi Sidders out there too as well, and Devil's Advocate April 12th. Across all those streaming platforms. We're back this week. Karen Waldrop, the legend Barbara Fairchild, coming on this week on Friday. Teddy Bear Song was big for Barbara back in the late 70s, early 80s, which was a huge hit for her. And we'll talk about her new project, which came out last week on Friday, March 29th. As you know, every Friday is a new music release day, and we try our best to get everybody on that we can to just help artists and continue to be explosive out there too here on the Backstage Pass. Thanks to all of our sponsors out there too, to KKTC True Country 99.9. and our friends at HighTideCountry.net. We'll see you soon. Take care.